Are you thinking about buying a home and need a quick crash course? Like, okay, what's the most important thing I need to know before I buy a home? This video is for you. We're gonna go over 6 tips, very, very important things that you should watch and know about before you step into that process. Even if you already purchased a home in the past, it's a good refresher. This is Anthony with the Love and Oath Group. If you haven't already, please subscribe up to our YouTube channel. We're creating your favorite content 3, 4, 5 times daily. So, what's the number one thing that you need to be aware of when you purchase a home? You are not paying for the buyer's agent. I get this question all the time. Hey, Anthony, yes, I want you to represent me, but I don't have the money to pay for my down payment, my closing costs, and also pay for a realtor. Well, the truth of the matter is that the sellers pay for the buyer's agent. So when the sellers list their home, they list for commissions for the buyer and seller's agent, right? And it's typically about 4 to 6% of the purchase price. So that's nothing that you as a buyer need to worry about. That's already agreed upon in their listing agreement. So you're covered in regards to this. So the number 2 thing that you want to be aware of is to not make big purchases before buying your home. I know a lot of people, they want their dream car, right? And yes, we all want our dream car, but it probably makes more sense to make that purchase after you get into your home. Why do I say that? Because it's going to impact how much you qualify for. And I can't emphasize this enough. There's several clients that I worked with in the past or I've talked to before that have made their dream purchase for their car, right? And that's impacted how much they qualify for. A $500 car payment is going to impact how much you qualify for by about $80,000 to $100,000. So think about it. If you go out, get your Tesla, your dream car, right? That's going to impact you, that $700 payment or so, by about $150,000. So instead of qualifying for that $650,000 home, that's 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, you now have to settle for, a 2 bedroom, 1 bath, $500,000 home. And the lower the pre-qualification amount, usually the more competitive it is. So it makes more sense to just wait until you get into your home before you make that purchase, because chances are your car retailer or lender is not going to really go through the same diligence as a loan processor for a home is, right? There's, debt to income, loan amounts, and so forth that they're looking at in order to qualify for a home. So keep this in mind before making any big purchases. The third thing you want to do is get pre-qualified before looking at homes. I know in the past we used to go to open house and be like, you know what, I really like this home. I'm going to go and get pre-qualified and put an offer in. It doesn't work like that anymore. This real estate market is insane, especially here in Los Angeles County and the surrounding counties. In LA County, the median days on market is now 9 days. So it's really only a couple of days for negotiations and then a couple of days for showings, right? In Orange County, it's 7 days. So if you think about it, you don't really have any time to get pre-qualified. The pre-qualification process could take a couple of days. So it's imperative that you get pre-qualified in advance. And what I actually recommend is to get pre-qualified a month or 2 in advance, just in case something comes up on your credit report or the lender has to give you some tips to like, hey, pay this down so you can qualify for more. So there's no hiccups by the time you start to really look for properties. Plus, right now, a lot of realtors are requesting that I actually send in a pre-qualification letter before I even submit a request to view a home. So you want to make sure you got all your ducks lined up. Once you do find the property of your dreams, you put in a strong offer. It's really tough as a buyer to negotiate in this market. You pretty much need to go out with your strongest offer. And trust me, it makes sense. Because the last thing you want to do is go in with an offer that's short of what you really can afford to go out with. And if you don't get a counter, you're going to feel miserable. You want to go out with your best offer, especially if it's a home of your dreams. If it isn't a home of your dreams, right, and you just want to put in an offer just to see if the sellers entertain it, then by all means go for it, because you don't really care if you don't get a counter or not. But if it's a dream, if it's your home of your dreams, right, a home you really care about, make sure to put in a strong offer immediately. The fourth thing you want to be aware of is the RPA, Residential Purchase agreement. So this is the form that's filled out in order to make an offer on a property, and it's designed to protect buyers. And there's 3 contingencies that are super important that I want to go over, that if you're making an offer, you want to make sure you jot these down and have them timeline. So number 1 is the inspection contingency. It's typically 17 days, but right now, because we're in a seller's market, sellers are asking buyers to lower that to about 10 days or less. So essentially, you have this amount of period, whatever you agree upon, 17, 12, 10 days, to do as many inspections on the property as you want, and then request your repairs for the property. And if the sellers are willing to help out with the repairs, that's amazing. If they're not, at that point, you have to reevaluate the property and be like, is it worth taking on this property or not, right? And if it's not worth it, at that point, you can use your inspection contingency to get out of the deal, right? And get your earnest money deposit back. You're fully protected and so forth. Now, when you're requesting repairs, please buyers, be reasonable. You can't be requesting a brand new roof. A seller is not going to give you a brand new roof. They might give you, half of that cost or a portion of that cost, but you have to be reasonable when you're requesting repairs, or else the deal is most likely going to fall apart, and no one wants that to happen. Number 2 is the appraisal contingency. That's the most important thing right now in the seller's market. Why? Well, what the appraisal contingency is designed for is to protect buyers in case they overbid for a home. So let's just say you make an offer for a home at $550,000, and the bank appraises the home for $520,000. The bank is not going to take the purchase price you agreed upon as the value of the home. They're going to take the appraised value, right? They're going to take that $520,000 value. So that $30,000 gap, that's where the appraisal contingency comes in place. And you're basically stating, hey, you know what? I'm only willing to pay what the appraised value is according to my contract. Right now, because we're in a seller's market and there's several buyers paying well over asking price, a lot of sellers are asking buyers to remove that appraisal contingency so they're not dependent on the property appraising or stating how much they are willing to pay short of an appraisal. So let's just say you're willing to pay, $10,000 short of an appraisal. What that means is if you put an offer at $550, it appraises at $520, that $30,000 difference, you're willing to pay up to $10,000 of that difference. So your purchase price for that home is now $530,000. Now, this is really, really important in this market. Whoever's willing to remove that appraisal contingency or pay the largest amount short of appraisal is most likely to win the property. Number 3 is the loan contingency. This one is by default 21 days, again, because we're in a seller's market. Sellers are asking buyers to lower that to 17 or 15 or less days. So what this pretty much means is you have that designated amount of time to try to get all your documents and signatures over to the lender and try to get loan approval. Once you get loan approval, there's pretty much nothing that can get in the way from the from the bank declining your loan. So your goal is to try to get loan approval as soon as possible. So it's really, really imperative that you're signing documents as fast as possible and working with your lender in a timely manner. So these are the 3 contingencies that I really want to drill down. It's the inspection contingency, typically 17 days, appraisal contingency, typically 17 days, and then loan contingency, typically 21 days, because we're in a seller's market. Sellers are asking buyers to lower these days down. So the 5th most important thing, and something that you really want to know, is to always do a home inspection, no matter what. Like, as a realtor, I am not going to let my buyers purchase a home without doing a home inspection. Even if they remove the inspection contingency, even if the property is sold as is, even if it's an all cash offer, you always want to do a home inspection. Why? Just because you always want to know as much about the property as possible before purchasing it. The last thing you want to do is purchase a property and then it has foundational issues. It needs a new roof. It needs new plumbing. And these are all big ticket expenses. And sometimes it just makes sense to walk away from the property, then purchase it. So It's really, really important that you do your home inspections. I'm gonna give you an example. I had a client, we purchased a property as is. So, does it make sense to do a home inspection? He asked me, like his mother said, it probably doesn't make sense. You can save yourself a couple $100. And I was like, no, dude, trust me. You wanna do your home inspection. You never know. Turns out that the home had a plumbing issue. The main line had a tree that grew into it, so it pretty much busted. Like there was only a couple months left of the main line. So what we ended up doing, we're like, hey, you know what? Listing agent, this is a big ticket expense. We got a quote. It's gonna be about $15,000 to replace that main line. Like, is there a way the sellers can help us out? I know this property is as is. You're not willing to make any repairs, but this is a huge thing that we didn't anticipate happening. And then the sellers came to their reasoning. They're like, you know what? Yes, we'll help you out. And I understand this is, a big ticket item that we all didn't anticipate happening. So they helped us out with half of the cost, $8,000. So this is why it's important, right? Even if a property is sold as is, even if there's, no inspection contingency and so forth, you never know. The sellers might help you out. And even if they're not going to help you out and it's $15,000 and you don't have that upfront to help you out, then it might make sense to walk away because the last thing you want to do is, purchase a home that's going to collapse on you, right? So make sure to get your home inspection done. Always, no matter what. I, as a realtor, I'm not even going to represent you if you're not going to do a home inspection, or I'll pay for it myself because it's that important. I don't want anything bad to happen to you. And this is for safety reasons, most importantly. Yep, last tip. So we're already in escrow. You want to be prepared and have your ducks lined up as well. So it's about 30 to 45 days usually. And you want to make sure you put in your 30-day notice. You got the utility companies lined up so you can start to make the service changes and everything. But one thing that I really want to drill down is to not use any credit. I know a lot of buyers, they want to start buying their furniture and buying all their equipment for their home on credit. But that's the last thing you want to do. Just wait a couple more days or weeks until escrow closes. Why? Because lenders do one last soft check before they close on your home. And if there's a substantial amount of credit that's put on your cards and they see that might influence whether you get approved for that home or not, and whether you might have to cancel escrow. So just want to make sure that you don't put anything or any big ticket items on credit. Not just yet. Just wait a little bit longer, get everything lined up, and be prepared for a 30 to 45 day escrow. So I hope this helps you buyers understand what's involved in purchasing a home and gets you in the right mindset. So again, there were 6 things. Number 1, don't make any big purchases on credit. Number 2, get pre-qualified before looking at homes. Number 3, sellers pay for the buyer's agent, not the buyers. Number 4, understand the RPA and the 3 contingencies: inspection, appraisal, and loan. Number 5, always do a home inspection, no matter what. And then lastly, escrow is going to be about 30 to 45 days. Prepare for it, and don't make any big purchases on credit during escrow. Just wait until everything is closed. So if you have any questions about this process, feel free to reach out to us. Again, this is Anthony with the Lovanos Group. Subscribe to our channel. I'm going to quickly list our social media here. We're creating your favorite content 4, 5, sometimes 6 times in a day, helping buyers and sellers navigate this crazy real estate market. And with that said, I want to wish you all the best. Take care and stay safe.